Hello everyone and welcome back to another beautiful day in the world of Feed the Beast Beyond. I'm BPD and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. So, I'm sitting here, right, just staring at a blank patch in the ground seemingly, and something happened with our chisel and bits blocks here in only this chunk, and I think, yeah, it's an unclaimed chunk in the middle of our base because there wasn't any need to claim it because there's no automation here, but for some reason, and I've done a little bit of fixing here, all of our chisel and bits blocks have disappeared from this chunk. But not like disappeared. They've turned into ghost blocks, right? So you see I'm like on the block, but not on the block, and I'm ghosting, right? And we've all had issues with ghost blocks before. It's a thing that happens in Minecraft. Usually it's easily fixable by just placing a block and it retains its shape. However, this one's not as simple, right? I don't know if it's because it's the chisel and bits entities, but what we have to do is we have to place down these half slabs like this. And we're going to have to do it for our stairs as well, because those were also chisel and bits blocks cut up, which is so unfortunate. And the biggest problem with it that I have, like the biggest pain about it, is that usually with a ghost block, when you put the other block down, it gets, you know, whatever block it was back. Like it turns back into whatever block it was. But unfortunately, that's not happening for us here, and we're going to have to re-chisel all of these. Thankfully, it's going to be relatively easy with, you know, the chisel pattern things and whatnot, but still, so unfortunate. But, you know, we're done with that. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Just thought I saw it, and I started fixing it, and I was like, well, figured I'd let you guys see what happened. I'm not exactly, if you guys have any ideas on why that happened, but I think it has something to do with tile entities and this not being claimed, because it only happened seemingly where things weren't claimed, and it only happened to the chisel and bits blocks. So very interesting. I'll probably just claim that, and that should fix it. But what we're going to be doing is working down here, down in the brain, and I was doing a couple things in between this episode and the last, and I'll just kind of run you guys through them real quick. First thing is I've been kind of organizing our storage a little bit better. So what I've been doing is using this cell workbench and this MEIO port. So what these do is this cell workbench is basically, it's like adding a filter to your storage cells. So you see here we have all of our ingots, copper, tin, aluminum, iron, gold, all of the ingots that we have, except for ones that are crafted like Invar, Electrum, stuff like that. I decided not to put it in here because it goes in and out, you know, pretty much on an as needed basis. When we need something that needs Invar, it's just crafted and then the Invar is gone. So I didn't really feel a need to put those in here, but this puts a filter on your storage cell. So this MEIO port will basically, it has two settings. One is transfer data to storage cell and one is transfer data to network. So when you transfer the data to the network, what you're doing is you're taking anything out of this storage cell and you're basically putting it somewhere in the network. And this isn't going to any specific storage cell. It's just kind of getting thrown wherever. Now, when you transfer the data to the storage cell, it's going to fill up the storage cell. Now, if there's no filter, if you don't go into cell workbench, it's pretty much just going to fill up your storage cell with whatever you have in your ME system. But since we have a filter, you see it stopped because we don't have any more ingots in the system that match the criteria, so it's not going to fill up. Now, this is, I mean, it's kind of tedious, and it's just a step towards, whoa, that frame rate, right? Anyway, it's just a step towards, you know, the automation of having level emitters and controlling our inventory and things like that, so that we can have things running and we'll never be low on stuff, but we'll also never have too much of anything, because there's not any particular reason why we need to have, you know, necessarily over 5,000 of any one item, as long as we can kind of keep it at 5,000 all the time. So this is just the stepping stones to that, and there's still quite a bit more to the process, but I wanted to kind of get started on it. The other thing is this mob grinder. Now, it's a pretty good system. It's been working well. I've added a couple more mobs to it. We got basalts here for the ore processing materials. And what is this? What? I swear, some things are... And this? These are glowstone? Ugh, anyway. We added the basalts for the ore processing stuff. We need the basalt rods to melt down. And we also added squid, because I can't think of a better way to farm squid in here. There used to be the rancher in MFR, but that doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not exactly sure how to get squid, so I just used the Whoop Mob Farm. Now, there was one thing that we had to change it. So our clear here, we didn't have anything in it. It was pretty much just a button that activated. Now, the problem that I was having, and I've had a couple issues with it since then, is the problem I was having was at first, it was just breaking the block, but the mob system was still running with whatever, previous item was in there. And then after that, I went into it again after I logged on. I had the block out, and this time, what was happening is it just wasn't working. So we'll put basalts there, and you see, without the cobblestone, it's like, it's being weird. And I'll go ahead and hit creeper, and maybe creeper will work. But no, creeper's not working. And I don't know, I think like not having a block there to break for the breaker is causing issues. So we'll go ahead and put our cobblestone in there, and then we'll go clear. And I think that should put the cobblestone down. Yep. So now we have our cobblestone. Now, if we want to go ahead and we'll do slime, because we need slime more than anything else at the moment, slime and gas tears. But we do that, and it's broken, or it's working now, so we have our slime in there. And then we go ahead and switch to clear, and that should break the system. Yep, and sets a cobblestone down. So you need that cobblestone there, or anything really. I was using smooth stone at first, but when the breaker breaks it, it changes it into cobblestone, so that messed up my system. So I'm just using cobblestone because it's simple. But you need a block there to break that can be replaced so that it doesn't, something about it messes up the system. I'm not 100% sure what it is that does it, but that, that is a thing that happens. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've done since this episode and the last, so you guys are all caught up. Now, what we're going to be doing today is more kind of expansion. We're going to be expanding our energy. Now, this was the area where the tree farm was, but we don't have it up there anymore because of our nice big building, and we'll find a nicer place for that and have, a couple different trees going. Maybe when we get more into bees and start to get the nicer trees. But for now, what we're going to be using is, this is going to be a place where we get additional power. And what I'm going to be using for additional power is deep resonance. So we're going to be getting into that. I wanted to get into it earlier in the series, but unfortunately it was just too costly and I didn't have enough of the resources. But now we are flush on resources, have plenty of everything, so we're going to be going ahead and getting into deep resonance. So what I want to do here is have a room, and the thing about deep resonance, one of the things that I know for sure is it gives off radiation. So what I want to have is kind of a thing like a quarantine room before the main room here that you can kind of go in, and they have a special suit for deep resonance. Let me go ahead and see at deep. So yeah, they have a special armor here which will lower the radiation. And so I want to have kind of a system that we can go in, click a button, or do something like have a pressure plate or something that we can have go that will take off whatever armor we're wearing, put on this hazmat suit, store that armor, then we kind of go in to this room, to the deep resonance room, start working on our power, and then when we're done, we come back into the quarantine room and click the button or step on the pressure plate or whatever, and put our old armor back on, and we can kind of be on our way, so that we can, no matter what, anytime we go in here, we're good. We have our armor all set up. So that's going to be kind of the first step of the process here, and I'm not 100% sure how exactly I'm going to do it. I do know that droppers can put armor on a person, but I do not know how to take armor off. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get a few things set up and ready, and do a little bit more research. I'm going to jump into a creative world as well and do some testing, and then we can go ahead and get started on this little project. I'm getting really tired of having to do this every time I log in. Man, I can't wait for an update to the Beyond pack, because this is actually pretty annoying. And I always forget until I go to craft something that I know I can craft, but I can't craft because the freaking assemblers are all wigging out. So let's go ahead and get those back online. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Don't believe. There we go. All right, so got those. And still, with the wiggy blocks, I have no idea. Oh, no. I'll just go upstairs. I fixed it. Oh, I hope it didn't go nuts again. That would make me so sad. But I fixed it. And actually, it was interesting. So when I broke the blocks, like the half slabs that I placed down, and it didn't work if you used vanilla slabs. You could only use chisel and bits blocks. So when you put them down and broke it, you actually got the block back, which was probably even worse because that was a little more tedious than having to just redo it. But we did fix it, and thankfully it's not broken again. Whew! That would have been unfortunate. But I've been doing quite a bit of testing in the creative world, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. So we're actually probably not going to be able to get into deep resonance today. In actuality, we're going to be working on this this contraption. So I think I've got it figured out, but it is going to be a process in order to get it. So let me see here. Actually, additions. We should have. Yep. We need 4 of these bad boys. All right, and we have our empowerer here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making something from actually addition. So we need these display stands, and we need this empowerer. Oh, that's right. It's still open, so I can't take that. And actually, we might also need this tool here. Let's go ahead and grab this just for some power. And for some reason, my frames are just wigging. Let me see here. So in order to, I have the book on me as well. Yeah. In order to do this, we need to make what's called a player interface. Yep. This thing right here. So we need to make one of these. We need an ender casing, which is pretty difficult, I guess. And because we need these dynamite crystals. That's what we're going to be using today. So we need this empower. And for this to work, you need to have this thing set up. There we go. There, right here. So it's a block that can be used to empower crystals and other items. So we need to have the display stands 2 blocks out from the empower. We're just going to put the empower here. All right, so we need some stuff. Actually, we need these. We need some clay, regular clay, stack, and we'll take, I think that should be good. So how does this work? Does this have an, nope, we don't want to do that. All right, so what is the, we'll go ahead and U here. So 2 clay, 1 clay block, and 1, oh, need light blue dye. D, Y, all right, so 20 of that. So I think it'll go 1 here, then 1 like that, and then this is a lot like Draconic Evolution. Do 1 here and 1 here, and then I think we should be able to put this. All right, cool. So now we just have to do that. Can we do it as blocks though? Okay, can we have it? Can we have it? Yoink. Okay, there we go. So we got 1, but can you block these up? Because I don't necessarily want to have to do that a bunch of times, because we're going to need a bunch of that stuff. Can we? Okay, we can. Now, can we do, well, actually, let's see here. Go U. It is the same. So actually, it's the same cost to do it in blocks. So you probably want to do it that way. We'll go ahead and do another one. Actually, power cost is probably the difference, and maybe even time. We'll go ahead and see how long this takes to finish up. Yeah, significantly longer than the single, that's for sure. Significantly. Come on. Come on. You can do it, buddy. I believe. I believe in you. I believe in you. There you go. Oh, yep. Get that back. We are in 1 by 1. That is important. There have been so many times where I've forgotten that it's in like 3 by 3 digging and have failed miserably. All right, so let me go ahead and get all the rest of these finished. All right, finishing up the last crystal. And these ones are quick. There we go. All right, so we have a bunch of the crystals, and we have a bunch of the other good stuff that we need. So now we need that player interface. Player interface. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump up to the, I should actually make, maybe I should make a pattern interface here, down here, so we don't have to jump up, but oh well, I'm going up now. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump up because we got to make some patterns. Got to make some patterns. Okay, so for what we're going to be doing, I've already got droppers, some conduits here, a button. We need that player interface. So let's go ahead and start that. And we also need some repeaters. And we can't use vanilla repeaters. We have to use these Project Red repeaters. We're going to need 5 of those. And I think that, oh, some filters as well. So let's go ahead and grab some filters. We'll get, let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and we'll go ahead and make 10. Oh, we need 1 advanced as well, but I think I have 1 advanced and we don't have any paper. Do I have any on me? I don't think so. I don't think so. And we have no sugarcane around here because I'm a terrible, terrible Minecraft player and I haven't made a sugarcane farm yet. Oh, no. All right, well, I'm going to have to run and grab some sugarcane from somewhere, and then we'll be able to continue here. All right, we got a stack of sugarcane, so let's go ahead and throw that in here. Now we should be able to make our filters, 10 of them. All right, cool, and then I'll use the rest of them to make the sugarcane farm. Maybe. Probably not, though, to be honest. But anyway, we got our filters. So now I'm pretty sure we are all nice and set up for... Oh, we forgot all the other things, of course. We need our player interface, which is good, good, good. We have our dispensers. Now we need, what was the last thing? Repeaters. That's right, repeaters. All 5 of those bad boys. Okay, so we are set to make, and this is a lot more involved than I actually expected it to be. But I finally think, I'm pretty sure it works. I tested it like, after I figured it out, I tested it like 20 or so times before I was 100%. So many glitches everywhere. Like, this isn't even any kind of special block. It's just a regular old laboratory block. See what happens when I place it back down. Sometimes when I do, it just stays there. Oh, it did this time. Alright, so, yeah, it was more involved than I thought it would be, and it's going to take up a lot more space than I thought it would as well. So, this is going to be our quarantine room, essentially. And this is going to basically be where we have our armor changers. So... And actually, I might want it to go in 1 deeper than that as well. So we're going to go ahead and have to cut out 5 blocks from here. All right, almost done here. Cool. So our button is going to go here. Okay, fancy. Got a fancy button. I'm going to have to... I'm not exactly sure where I want to put torches because I don't know what's going to go where. All right. Let me see if I can remember this, even just from the creative world that I did it in. So there have to be blocks like this on each side, okay, and then you need your repeaters. So repeater will go here, repeater will go here, and a repeater will go on this side right here. And then we need our item conduit to go like this. We're going to put our player interface here. And you can give it power, but all that does, it doesn't need power to work. That will just charge items that you know, put into this player interface. So, like, if it had power, it would be able to charge my armor. But I'm not too awfully worried about that. Then we also need a redstone cable to go here, then down to here. Then this is going to always active with signal. Okay. Cool. Now, actually what we're also going to have to do is make our armor. So let's go ahead and craft. We need 1 of those, 1 of these, 1 of these, and I don't have... Oh, man. I logged out and logged in again. So, of course, my interfaces... I went to go get... sugarcane, and my game froze up on me. Like what happens sometimes, there are certain parts of my world, I guess, that when I travel over them or something, they just won't load, and that's what happened. So I had to teleport back home, and or actually I had to quit the game and then teleport back home to fix it. So when I did that, obviously all of my molecular assembler arrays went out. Well, not all of them, just 2 of them, but enough. I don't trust breaking that. It might break my molecular assemblers there, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Okay, those will go there, here, here, and here, and then we should be able to craft the leg pieces. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. There you go. All right, so now deep. Yeah, there are the legs there. So we need these for our filters. So got all of those. Cool. All right. So, and I also put a bunch of recipes, as you saw, for the deep resonance stuff in there. So now what we're going to need, and we're also going to take off all of our armor here. And we're going to use, this one has to be an advanced item filter because of the number of items that we're going to be having here. So one of them, it's going to take out our armor here, depending on which one we have equipped, right? And I don't know, you might have to ignore metadata just because of the armor, like the durability or charge of the armor. You might want to ignore metadata or else it might not work. I'm not 100% sure. I tested it with just regular diamond armor in the test world, so I'm not sure if that's going to matter. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignore, or you know what, just for testing purposes, we'll go ahead and leave the metadata on for now, and then if we need to later, we can change it. So this is the setup essentially for the player interface. Now, when we click a button, this is going to go off, and it's going to take out those specific items from our inventory. Now, what we need to do, and we're going to go ahead and put droppers, one here and here, okay, and one here and here. And we're going to have to take this redstone from this. Yeah, so it goes like that. That's not a redstone wire. It goes like that. And then this, and then that'll go over here. Okay. Oh, we also need this. See, this setup is a little bit more involved than I expected it to be for sure. So, we're gonna need one more mini chest, and I like mini chests because they only hold one item, so it makes it kind of nice. I don't. It actually doesn't really matter. You could use a regular chest if you really cared to, but I just like the mini chest. So gonna need some mini chests, and those are going to go. Wait, is this wrong? Hang on a second. Is it just a little bit wider than I thought it was? Do I have the math wrong? Let me see. I'm gonna have to knock this out. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. My numbers are off here. So let me go ahead and see. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I did. My numbers are off by 1. Back to where we were. Now, like I said, I'm going to take these down real quick. We're going to put our droppers down once again. Is that right? Is that how I want it? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see when it's all done, but I mean, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. So we'll go ahead and put these here now. All right. And the conduit will now go like this. Okay. And we'll have conduit go over. Sorry about my cat. She is loud. So those are the actuators. So for this in particular, what you're going to want to do, and we're using repeaters here, and I know I haven't changed any of the settings yet, but we're going to do that right now. You're going to want this to be 5 clicks up. I think I messed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks up, and you want these to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so 2 there, 3 there, off from the end, I mean, and then we'll go ahead and give this another 6er. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so those are all set up correctly. Now we're going to need a couple more pieces of stone. One's going to go there. One's going to go here. And then we're going to use our last 2 repeaters. Okay, so 1 there and 1 there. And then these are going to get 2 clicks. Okay, so like that. And now we're going to run this like 1, that, and that, right? So then you have to disconnect here and here. Okay, now we need our mini chests, which are going to go right here. See, I think am I? No, I think that might be, because what I want to do, no, yeah, that's right. All right, so the mini chests are each going to go one on top of the other like that, and then we're going to have item conduits going over here to our dispensers coming from here, and these are also going to, see, how was this? I think it was also with signal. Okay, and then actually we're going to need one more redstone wire there. Going to cut that redstone wire. Okay, and I think that is correct. Let me just chop this up a little bit so we can get behind here. I think that is accurate. Let's go ahead and disable here as well. I think that's good. It's kind of hard to know without looking at it from the top. Oh yeah, I'm not wearing my flight armor either. All right, so yeah. Now let's just go ahead and throw that over on this side. Okay, so I think that, and now the last thing that we need to do, actually let me go ahead and do our filters. Do I need to? I have this filter done, right? Yeah, no, we're good. So the last thing we need to do is take these item conduits, and these are going to go across here like that, and they're going to connect into the chest like so. So the reason that we're doing it like this is, well, I mean, actually, let me go ahead and finish this, and I'll kind of go over the whole, long and short of what's going on here. And actually, I'm going to have to take this wall out as well. This is why I didn't do any kind of fancy building yet, because so many things get destroyed when you're building. All right, so let me go ahead and, all right, so I got that conduit already. This is going to come all the way down to here, There we go. These are going to be insert and insert. So, I think we're good as far as all that is concerned. Now we need our other filters, and we'll go legs, take our chest off here, and for this we'll do filter feet. And of course you see I'm matching all of the armor pieces, draconic feet with radiation feet, and draconic legs with radiation legs, and those were both on the insert as well on this side. So remember that. So we have those, and actually this power cable can come back one, which is fine. I'll deal with that in just a second. So this will also get its item filter. We'll do legs and legs, and this will get the last, which will be, and I made too many item filters, which is fine, chest and a chest. So now I'm going to put one piece of each of these. Did I put head? No, wrong one. What is this? These are legs. Head and head, not legs. All right, so there we go. Fix that. I knew something was off. All right, so head goes here, then this was legs, and this is feet. Okay, and now we'll put all this on. Right, so ideally, and I think I have everything correct here, but what should happen now is we click the button. Last thing that we need to do is switch these to insert. Alright, and insert and insert. Alright, so that's set to 2. Alright, so that should be everything. Now what should happen is we click this, it pulls out all of our draconic armor, takes it off of our body, and then equips us with the radiation suit. So let's go ahead and see if this works. I hope it does. All right, so a little bit of a delay. All of our draconic armor. And then boom. So then, all right, cool. So we got all of our pieces in here. Cool. Now we click it again. A little bit of a delay, of course. And then all of that comes off, and boom, comes right back on. So now we have, and let's go ahead and do an F5 look of this. We have button, little bit of a delay. Armor comes off. Then we have our hazmat suit, and then button, little bit of a delay. Armor comes off, and we have our Draconic Armor Suit. Sweet! That is awesome. That was really difficult. So the timings here are very, very specific. They are what they are for a reason. And it took me a relatively long time to figure out the timings to use. I was using pulse formers for a little bit. I tried timers and clocks and things like that and couldn't quite get it until I found this setup. So basically you have to have a delay here or else it won't pull out all your items. Okay. Then you have your droppers on a separate little smaller delay so that your droppers don't trigger, then all of the armor gets taken out, both sets of armor, right? So you have to have it in sequence. First it's this to remove your armor, then it's this to put the armor on, and then last we have this on a little 2-system delay, because what you don't want, we have the items going into these mini chests over here, and then for the mini chest to trigger and actually pull and go into the dropper, there needs to be a redstone signal, which is what this is for. It's a short redstone signal with a significant delay. And the reason you have that delay there is because the problem I was running into was you would get mismatched sets of armor and it would give you random pieces of armor. And that's because I would have more than one armor set inside the dropper at a certain time. So, if there's 2 sets of armor in here, since there's 9 boxes, the dispenser doesn't always pick the one in the front slot. And things will get mismatched when they get placed and taken out of the inventories. But now with that delay system and this kind of buffer chest system that we have going on right here, and all of the different repeaters with the different timings going on, and my frame skip once again, so weird. Anyway, with all those delays and everything that we have going on, this will go, and like I said, I tested it a bunch of times and I actually did not come. Oh, actually, that's the one issue. You want to wait for it, so you can't just keep clicking it over and over again like I just did there. You want to wait for the redstone to kind of re-trigger itself. So it's on like it, but it doesn't mess up. It doesn't mess up the system. And that's the point. So what happens is these pieces of armor that were in here, I got my full Draconic set back because they didn't go into the droppers. So even when it messes up, you still don't end up with a mismatch. But you want to wait for it to kind of settle itself. So you'll see it here. When the repeater kind of resets itself like that, you'll be good to go. So you want that front light right there to kind of come off, right? So boom, and then now you can click it again and kind of reset the whole thing. But that's it though. We've accomplished it, thankfully. I mean, like I said, when I was first getting into it, it was a lot more involved than I was expecting it to be, and I could not find, literally, I don't know what other combinations of items you could do to do this. The hardest part was figuring out a way to pull specific items from the player's inventory. But thankfully, Actually Editions had a solution for that with the player interface. But now we have, an armor changer. And now, so what it's going to be, like I said, is we're going to have like a quarantine room. And I'll put some of this stuff back here to kind of illustrate. So we're going to have this, and it's going to come across like that. The wall, and it'll come in and close off the dispensers in a way so that you don't have to look at them because they're not very aesthetically pleasing. And then we're going to have like a chamber here that we can just come into, and let me place some blocks here just for aesthetics. We'll go ahead and come in, switch into our hazmat gear, and then go out and come in and start working with our deep resonance stuff. So yeah, sweet. I'm pretty happy with that, I have to say. This was pretty successful. Took a little bit longer than I thought, and took a few more steps than I was hoping it would, but it is completed, thankfully. So I would say this is a pretty top-notch project, if I do say so myself. I am very happy with it. We got all the timings done and everything, and it's set to go pretty perfectly. But unfortunately, it is all we're going to be able to do today. That project was a little bit more lengthy and involved than I expected. So we're not going to be able to get into the deep resonance part of it necessarily, but we're going to jump right into that next episode, next time I see you guys. So it is a bummer, but it's good. Good progress. And that is a pretty nifty machine. It's pretty useful. I don't know how many more different pieces. You could do it with multiple different kinds of armor if you wanted to and kind of have a cycle going, I'm sure, but I didn't need that, and I didn't really want to go into the depth that it might require to get that, because I only want it to switch into that, in and out of the hazmat suit, essentially. I don't need it for anything else at the moment, but yeah, that is going to have to do it. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and let me know what you think of the the little system we created there, the armor changing system. Let me know. Once again, as always, I'm not 100% experienced in the mods here, so I always ask you guys if there is a way to do that better, if there is a more streamlined system to get that done. Do let me know. I always love to find more efficient ways to do things, and I didn't look that up. I haven't looked up really any of these builds at all, not the Whoop Farm button system or that. I haven't looked up a build for it or how to do it, so this is all just off knowledge that I know and the tools that I have available to me. So if there's something else, do let me know. Let me know if there's a way to make that better. I love improving things, and if there's anything else as well, as always, that you guys do want to see, let me know. I love jumping into all kinds of fun different mods and things like that. But yeah, that is going to do it for us here. So until I see you guys again, have a good one.